This video is brought to you by togetherbudget.com. So, let's start with the basics. A credit score is a three-digit number that represents an individual's creditworthiness.
That makes sense. It's like a report card for our financial lives, right?
Exactly. And just like a report card, it's based on a scale of 300 to 850. The higher the score, the better your credit is.
Okay, got it. But what factors actually contribute to that score?
Well, there are 5 main categories: payment history, credit utilization, length of credit history, types of credit used, and new credit.
So, payment history is the biggest factor. What does that mean exactly?
It means that late payments, collections, and bankruptcies will all negatively impact your score.
Okay, I can see how that would be a problem. But what about credit utilization?
Credit utilization is the amount of available credit you're using compared to the total amount of credit available to you.
So it's like, if I have a $1,000 credit limit and I'm using half of that, my score will go down?
That's right. And it's not just about the amount, but also the frequency of payments.
Okay, I think I'm starting to get it. But what about those new credit inquiries?
New credit inquiries can temporarily lower your score because they indicate that you may be taking on too much debt.
Okay, so it's like a red flag? I need to be careful about applying for too many credit cards?
One of the most significant factors affecting your credit score is payment history, which accounts for 35% of your overall score. This includes whether you've made payments on time, how much you owe compared to your available credit limit, and any past due amounts.
That's a huge chunk of your total score. What happens when someone has a history of late payments?
Well, if you have a history of late payments, it can significantly lower your credit score. The severity of the impact depends on how many times you've been late and how long ago those events were.
I see. And what about credit utilization? That's another big factor, right?
Yes. Your credit utilization ratio is the amount of available credit being used compared to the total available credit limit. Keeping this ratio below 30% can help improve your score.
That makes sense. But what about new accounts? Do they affect the score too?
The age of your credit history is another important factor, making up around 15% of your total score. A longer credit history can positively affect your score.
But what if someone has a short credit history? Does that mean they're doomed to have a bad score?
Your credit mix, including different types of loans and credit cards, can make up around 10% of your total score. A diverse mix is generally seen as healthier than having only one type of account.
That makes sense to me. And what about hard inquiries? Do they hurt my score?
So, let's talk about building healthy credit. One of the key things to understand is that credit scores are not just a reflection of your past financial decisions. They're also a prediction of your future behavior.
That makes sense. I mean, think about it, if you've never taken out a loan or had a credit card, how can the credit bureaus possibly know how responsible you'll be with that kind of debt?
That's right. And it's not just about having good credit, either, it's also about maintaining it over time.
I see what you mean. So even if I do have good credit now, I need to be careful not to let my habits slip and damage that score?
Exactly. And one of the biggest mistakes people make is not monitoring their credit report regularly.
That's a great point. I mean, how can we even know if there are errors on our report or not?
Let's talk about the most common credit score mistake: not checking your report regularly.
That's a great point. How often should people be checking their reports, in your opinion? What about applying for too many credit cards at once? Is that a mistake people make?
Yes, it can be. When you apply for multiple credit cards in a short period, it can negatively impact your credit utilization ratio and overall score. Another mistake is not paying bills on time. This can have a significant impact on your credit utilization ratio and payment history.
I've heard that making late payments can hurt your score for up to 7 years. Is that true?
Now, let's talk about advanced credit hacking techniques. One of the most powerful tools in your arsenal is a technique called credit utilization ratio optimization.
I've heard of this term before, but I'm not entirely sure what it means. Can you explain it to me?
Another advanced technique is credit account consolidation. By combining multiple low balance accounts into one high limit account, you can improve your credit to debt ratio and boost your overall score.
That makes sense. But what about the potential impact on my credit age? Won't closing old accounts hurt me?
One of the most important things to remember is that credit hacking is not just about manipulating your numbers, it's also about building a strong, healthy financial foundation.
I've seen people get caught up in trying to game the system and end up hurting their scores instead of helping them. What advice do you have for listeners who are just starting out?
This tutorial is brought to you by Malik Abwalzait.